Hello, friends, followers, spies, and everybody in between. It is I, Nick Haas, the founder and prez of Guardian Self Recovery, the Guardians, coming to you from our new world headquarters here in Portland, Oregon. Um, I realize I haven't done one of these news updates in a really long time, so I wanted to sit down, have a little chat, and fill you in on what's been going on. And let me tell you, it has been a roller coaster, both for us as a group and for me personally. And I'm here to tell you that, hey, I'm still alive, doing well, and ain't no luck. I learned to duck. But here we are. It is, we're coming up on the end of June here in 2025. Man, what a wild year it has been. Everything has just been going up, 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 and up for us and for me personally. And I want to give a huge shout out and thanks to you, our followers, our friends, those who've been able to help and get to know and come into your lives and restore a little bit of faith in humanity. Thank you for giving us that opportunity. Unfortunately, it's been pretty rough for me personally in 2024, late 2023. I got into doing this because I really wanted to help people. And, if every sinner has a future and every saint has a past, and I'm not infallible, I'm no different. I have my own bad karma that I have to make up for. And that's also a part of the reason why I started doing this. And I'm so ecstatic that this idea has grown beyond one man. We are now in 5 states total. We've got Oregon, Washington, California. We've got some guys out in St. Louis. And now we've got some groups down in the Texas end of things getting pretty righteous down there. So, yeehaw, motherfuckers, we're watching. And, shit's popping off. Things are growing for us. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to make a lot of videos. In November, we actually got placed under a talent hold contract. And we are still working with a company out of LA for a reality TV show. A pilot sales tape was filmed and produced. It was originally sent to Discovery Channel. Discovery Channel turned it down. They went to, A&E, and they didn't like it either. It wasn't pro-police enough for them. That's totally fine with us. And Fox shot it down as well because it was too police for them. Okay. That's fine. We all know you love watching it. In all honesty, you get to see it here for free. So we're going to try and work on, unfortunately, we do all this for free. We don't have a lot of money. And if I had more money, I'd be buying more equipment like cameras and things and actually having someone follow us around with the sole purpose of filming. But also that's really difficult to sometimes be covert. We got some guy with a camera, going like this the whole time, as we learned when we were filming the pilot. We walked right into a pretty damn dangerous situation where there was a chop shop, dog fighting ring, and bunch of some sort of cartel gang thing going on, and shit got pretty heated pretty quick, and managed to defuse the situation. But yeah, there will be more content starting from this video forward. I'm going to try to upload something at least once a week. I'm going to try to do an update like this once a month. And by the way, if you want to get involved with the Guardians, we are always welcoming. Just shoot us an email at guardiansportland@gmail.com. Guardiansportland, one word. And drop us your name and number, and somebody will reach out to you. But for me personally, end of 2023, I lost my house and actually became homeless myself while struggling with addiction and alcohol. Not proud of that. Wound up homeless for a better chunk of that time. And I want to thank everybody who was supportive, and my family and my friends who helped me kind of get through that time. I just celebrated 120 days clean and sober. Wound up homeless there for a little while. And then a couple of our sponsors. Huge shout out to Sean and everybody at the Gun Room on Foster Road. Rick and Alex Cramian, the folks from George Moreland. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. Basically I started putting the word out once I got sober that I needed to find a place. I needed to find us an office. And these guys are like, hey, will give you one. Give, no charge, a place to call home for the guardians and both yourself. Just clean up our neighborhood, protect our businesses, and keep doing what you're doing. So huge shout out to all those folks who made that possible. And we have just been going tenfold to clean up this neighborhood we're in now. Shortly after that happened, I had a pretty major health scare in February. I wound up hospitalized with heart problems. Turns out I have high blood pressure. Go figure with this line of work. And an enlarged heart. We already knew I had a big heart, but now it's confirmed in medical science. So, woohoo! There's some other stuff going on there that I'm not going to go into. It hasn't been exactly easy. I was also involved in a pretty gnarly motorcycle accident Friday 13th. Asshole pulled out right in front of me without looking left, and I right into him. And I'm still recovering from that. I'm still pretty broken up, but you know what? It hasn't slowed me down enough to stop me from doing what I'm doing. I also have now, officially for the first time in a very, very long time, an incredibly amazing and beautiful woman in my life who loves me dearly and encourages me and inspires me every day to be a better man. And shout out to you, baby. I absolutely love and adore you. Thank you for putting up with my crazy, raggedy ass. And life has been going like this lately for both us as a group and me as an individual. So I'm excited to take this time and sit down and talk with you and update you on what you're going on. We are now over 3,983, 4, 5. I don't know. I haven't checked the numbers from last night, what Night Crew did, which, by the way, huge shout out to D and the Night Crew guys. You guys are killing it. You know, folks, we don't just recover stolen property for folks. You know, we're going out there and getting cars and motorcycles back, but we're doing storage unit break-in investigations, business investigations. You know, we're helping find missing kids. We're getting women out of sex trafficking. We're 86ing fentanyl dealers from our communities. We're dealing with squatters and situations where people are coming out of the hospital after 2 months and finding a bunch of strangers in their home and getting them out of there. We are forcing positive change in our community. And I wish I could show you all everything. But unfortunately, in this line of work, sometimes it's kind of hard to stay within the confines of the law. In all honesty, I've never been a huge fan of law enforcement. I don't believe in the American justice system. Unfortunately for a lot of the folks we deal with, 3 hots and a cot is kind of vacation, but we are also starting to run into the bigger, more organized operations. And that's the other thing we've been able to do is develop an equilibrium with them, and understanding, because unfortunately there will always be good and evil. It's about establishing a balance, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be that real thin little gray area in there between the yin and the yang, and kind of develop a working relationship, which is something no law enforcement agency is really able to do. And nothing against the cops. You know, there are some good people on the police force who are trying to do real good things and bring about change, but there's also some royal fecal dandruff in there. And I've got a video coming out next week for you guys about a certain situation where we waited 4 hours trying to save a life. And while we did manage to save that life at that time, unfortunately, our justice system, our police force, and our DA and our judges and everything failed the family. And it didn't have a happy ending. But we're going to update you guys on all that here next week. And we're going to keep this video happy and positive. Unfortunately, the city of Portland's ebb and flow situation is still happening. We've got a serious epidemic here where we've got a lot of homeless folks, we've got a lot of addicted, and there are honest victims of circumstance on our street. Unfortunately, most of the folks we deal with are the ones who are there by choice, who don't give a shit, who want to watch the world burn, and they'll break into your house, take your TV, eat your food out of the fridge, grab your car keys, and go crash it into something after they do a bunch of dope in it and basically ruin it. So, the unfortunate thing is our city management here in Portland has really dropped the ball. The situation that is brought about our existence is through their own negligence. In all honesty, we saw the protests in 2019. Everyone wants to chant defund the police, but then they don't want to police themselves. And they were totally fine with defunding the police until their Subaru got stolen, the catalytic converter got cut out of their Prius. So, you know, it really, we just caused more problems. This experiment didn't work. You know, we had COVID hit, and we legalized small amounts of every substance, and then we dumped out all of our jails onto the streets, and we just started writing people tickets, and we lost 80% of our police force before all that happened. So we really just screwed the pooch on this one for the city of Portland. And I honestly look at the situation, and I don't feel like that was entirely negligence. There's something going on there, whether there was an intent to drive people out of downtown, to lower property values so developers from other countries and other states could come in and buy it up. I don't know, but there's something going on there, and someday the truth will come out. But the biggest hypocrisy right now in the city is that our city last year, 2 years ago, signed a contract with a major California corporation to manage Portland's homeless population. Manage our homeless population at $13 million a year. $13 million of Multnomah County taxpayers' money. You know, and it's everybody's fault. We are all negligent in this. And I don't just mean city council, the mayor's office, the police force, first responders, any of that. Every single citizen who exists in this county, whether it be Clackamas, Multnomah, Washington, etc., is guilty on this, because we sat by and let this happen. And you know, you can go out and carry a sign and march in the street about the shit going on in DC, but real change starts at home. You want to make a real difference? Start in your community. Go talk to your neighbor. Half of y'all divert eye contact. You've got to check the mail at the same time. Go check on an elder lady down the street. Maybe she could use some help. Maybe she's on a fixed income. Maybe she just needs some help around the house or something. Get to know your neighborhood. Get to know your community. And start small. That's how we did it. We started in our block, 1 block radius, and branched out to this organization, which is now in several other states in the United States. And my whole goal for this idea was for it to grow beyond just me and one man. I want to have a group of guardians in every major city acting as a go-between for citizens and police, filling that little gray area and helping those in need. That is my goal. And right now, as it stands, if anything happened to me tomorrow or I had to walk away from this, this is a self-sustaining entity which will go on for a very long time. It's not reliant on me to exist anymore. And that is the most beautiful thing that I've been able to do for my community in my life, in all honesty. And I'm very proud of that. You know, granted, we still got a lot of uphill battle to go. We're still dealing with a lot of issues. You know, and the biggest issue here is we don't have enough psychological help and addiction treatment for these folks on our streets. We really need to start upping the ante on that. We re-legalized the substances. We re-legalized camping on public property. We set up safe rest villages. Let's take that a step further. Let's put psychological evaluation and therapy at each one of those sites. Let's get them in there to see a therapist once a week, see how they're doing mentally. Let's get them addiction help and treatment. Let's get them into NAAA, whatever they need, and start rehabilitating these people. And let's put them back to work. Let's get labor ready. Let's pay these people 4 days a week a paycheck and collect tax dollars to go out there, paint over the graffiti, clean up our parks, clean up our streets, clean up these homeless camps, and contribute to our communities so that we're not only helping them psychologically and with their addictions and money, but they're contributing to our community and feeling good about themselves. And guess what? You do that for a month, let's put you in a state-subsidized apartment and get you on your feet. So you're contributing and you're healed and you're well again. That's what we need to do. You know, I'm not a fan of the two-party system. I'm not a fan of the American justice system. I really think that we need unity right now. We need to put aside differences and come together and work as one group. We're all in this together. And it's really a shame to see this country tearing itself so far apart. It's in this bread and circus bullshit that's being shoveled down our throats. I mean, if you really want to live a better life, turn off the fucking news and go outside. You know, go do something about it that actually is going to have an impact. Because I can guarantee you marching down the street with a piece of cardboard that says, screw whoever's in the White House isn't going to make a difference. It might make you feel better for a little bit, but it's not going to change anything Washington, D.C. is doing right now. And we are in some very dark shadow times. right now with all the shit going on in the world. So what we really need right now is a little bit of empathy and compassion for one another. And that starts at home, in our communities, in our cities, and it can grow bigger beyond that. This has grown so much bigger than beyond me and my actions. One person, if I can do that, anybody can. I mean, look at me. But I just wanted to let you all know what's been going on, where things are at. I'm sorry I've been absent for a while between trying to get my own psychological state and addiction fixed and getting a roof back over my head and figuring myself out and trying to do this show and trying to juggle all this stuff. It's a lot. I'm taxed. I'm stretched thin. We don't get paid for this. We do this for free. We don't believe people who are victims should have to pay. So we are trying very diligently and very adamantly to really bring about a positive change in a healthy manner for the city of Portland, Multnomah County, and our communities that we operate within. And we are quickly reaching all the goals that we set. I mean, our number one goal when we started this was recover 1,000 cars a year. Well, guess what? We're coming up on our 4th anniversary on August 1st of recovery number 1, and we're at 3,983 recoveries. We're going to hit that goal this year again. And guess what? We're going to have us a party. I don't know exactly when and where it's going to be, but I will update it on our social medias 30 days beforehand. If you want to come down and shake our hands and hang out, you're more than welcome to. And I also want to note, you're only going to see a handful of people on this. Now, I know you've mostly only seen me, and I've kept it that way on purpose because, again, sometimes the things we do don't really jive with the black and white of the law, and I can't show you everything we do because sometimes reasonable men must do unreasonable things. And unfortunately, it is necessary in these times. But you're going to see more content coming from us on our social medias. You're going to start to see more of the crew. And we're excited for everything that's coming around the corner. And we thank you for following, supporting, being a part of your community. If you'd like to make a donation to our efforts, you're more than welcome to. We've got Cash App, we've got Venmo, we've got PayPal. We've got a P.O. box if you want to send us a letter. All this stuff is Guardians Portland. GuardiansPortland@gmail.com is the email. Money sign. Guardians Portland is the Cash App. Guardians Portland is the Venmo. Guardians Portland is the PayPal if you want to make a donation. And again, we've never charged anybody a red cent for this, but if they want to make a donation, all that money goes straight back into the Guardians to fill people's gas tanks for efforts to purchase equipment that we need to do this, and sometimes even fixing people's stolen property when it calls for it. So again, this is Nick Haas thanking you very much from our new headquarters for being a part of this movement and this idea. We thank you for following along. Please share with your friends, subscribe, and enjoy the show. Until next time, this is Nick Haas signing off, saying be righteous, be present, and have a great day.